Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bot Signal. This is RJ Redden. And if you don't know me, here's your opportunity. Entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their engagement because most feel like they're shouting into a black hole. They can't get any traction online, and they're a carbon copy of everybody else, honestly. So I create epic engagement experiences that get people to click that button, connect with you, and convert like crazy. So, my friends, today I am interviewing Jane M. Powers. Everybody, please welcome Jane to the stream. Hello, darling.
Hello there. Good morning.
Yay! We're so glad to have you here. Jane, I invited you to the stream today because you got something a little different going on than kind of the usual intromercial type stuff, which is what I just did. Oh, wait. Sorry. For those of you who don't know Jane, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us everything.
You know, you just said I have something a little different going on, and I've asked you not to share that in public. Tell the world about that little different thing. It's our personal secret. Okay. So, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Jane Powers. Entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority because most are not clearly articulating their message and leaving far too many opportunities empty-handed. So I help them connect, capture, and close their ideal audience. Bottom line, you must unleash your unfair sales advantage. And that is what I got a little different, something going on, or whatever she said. I got something a little different going on. And that's our secret today for this show.
That's right. It's now known. It is known. But yeah, Denise, good morning. Good to see you. Gosh, the thing that's I want to get into this because many people have seen you on my show many times. Jane is my favorite guest, everybody. She's mostly my favorite guest because all I have to do during this interview is ask a couple of questions and then I can just sit back and sip coffee. No one cares about me when Jane's on screen.
No,
and I like it that
not
way.
true. Not true. Sort of. You say that to all the guests that got a little something different going on. So I do know that.
Maybe. Anyway, Jane has come to the table today with something entirely new and different that is going on. Can you tell us a little bit about CORE?
Yes, I will tell you a lot bit about CORE, but first, I love this. I want to share with you, learn from the mistakes of others because you will not live long enough to make them all yourself. Eleanor Roosevelt, I am telling you right now, she must have been hanging out with me every sales conversation I ever had prior to the CORE system. I'm going to tell you, here's the truth of the matter. So we're talking about sales today. Usually, as RJ referenced, I talk about the intromercial, not an infomercial. What that means is I'm going to tell you everything about me. It's boring, confusing, and many times we know this, it's inconsistent. So what we're talking about today is how to open the door. First, we know that's the intromercial. Then how do you keep that door open and close the door so that more and more people are able to invest in your genius? So here's what's important. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you about my very first sales conversation. Wendy's International, Naperville, Illinois. That's actually where Dave, God rest his soul, and Wendy used to hang out. That was their corporate headquarters. I wanted them as a client. I was in the employment industry. So I went in and I had zero confidence. I had no skills. I did not know how to do anything in sales, but they thought, oh, you're pretty, you got a great personality. Let's put you in sales. I think that's all it takes. So I go up to the receptionist, right, at the time, and they have no soliciting signs, no this, no that. And I walked in and I asked for the HR director, and she was very stern and not very friendly and was like almost like, who do you think you are? Absolutely not. And I did what any good sales professional would do, which I thought was the thing. And I stood there and cried. I didn't understand. It hurt my feelings. I took it personally. I felt like I wasn't enough. There was everything. It was all about me. And I cried, literally. So there's a great story end to that story, and I'll tell that. But I share that because most people that are selling make it about themselves. It just happens. It just happens. We're human and we have feelings. And no matter what, I've been doing sales over 30 years, RJ, over 30 years. That either just makes me dang old or skillful. I will let you decide. I might just be old. That's what I might be afraid of. Truth be told, though, I've created 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. And how did I do that? Because I can sell. Now, I used to make buyers. Before. I'd get in a conversation. I'd be like navigating to my result, to my end result. Sales is a conversation that you help someone find their yes or their no. Like you're graciously allowing them to say no. Because if they say yes and they don't really want to say yes, but you've been so skillful at selling them, you're stuck with them. Yeah. They're not going to like you after it. They're not. I promise you. I promise you. So I like RJ said, she just planted one little question and I'm off and running. RJ, what would you like to know?
Well, first of all, everybody, Jane has an event going on this week on Thursday. I will be there. It is an event that you pay a seat deposit. I believe it's 97, isn't it, Jane?
Yeah, it's only $97. And I don't mean to be, I don't want to sound insensitive, but I really mean this. If $97 held for 4 days is too much, don't register. Like, I don't want to sound condescending in any way, but what I mean is don't stress about the $97 and sit through the training, worry about getting back that $97. And you think I'm kidding. We have people that do that. I want you fully invested to say, I'm going to give you $97. And then Jane, you're going to give it back to me when I show up, and you're all in. You're our people. But the truth of the matter, if you cannot put $97 down as a fully refundable seat deposit, that tells me exactly why you're crashing in your business and sales. Now, maybe you're great at sales, and that's a total, you're like, no, that's not. But I can promise you, if you can't put $97 down, you are having trouble in sales. I pull out every couch cushion. And I say that because we get people are like, oh, I can't afford $97. It's coming back to you. But think about the thinking around that. And the way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you are resistant to invest in yourself and you get the money back, when someone comes to you with an objection, they don't want to invest in themselves, you're going to actually agree with it. There's going to be a part of you inside that agrees with it and allows that person to be under their own supervision and not allow them to get support by you. But if you help people face their objections, aka excuses, aka rationalizations, aka it sounds wonderful, but the majority of the time it's BS. It's just excuses. They don't believe in themselves, and maybe they just don't like you. If they don't like you, let them go. Like, truly.
It's true.
Yes. Go ahead.
Well, it's true. We do get all excited because, like, okay, so just a little background, my friends. This is my coach. She's my coach for life, by the way. But the reason, and I have been through the system that she's about to teach on Thursday, again, for a refundable seat deposit. You show up, you get your money back. It's very simple. So I've been through the system that she's talking about, and I have made thousands and thousands of dollars by following what she's going to talk about on Thursday. I need you to know this, that it is the first system I have run into that is not a hard sell, that is not douchey, that is not, oh my God, we're running out. You have to buy before midnight. No, you know what? Sales isn't about what you think it's about. Sales is not about convincing. Sales is about helping people find their truth. Jane is the person that taught me that. And there's so much more you.
And truth be told, RJ's sales style, because when I took her on as a client, RJ is probably one I almost made a buyer. Not in a bad way. I was like, oh, that is how you're selling. We might have a conversation. And here's how RJ would sell. They want it. I'm like, did you ask him? She's like, no, that would be pushy. Like, she barely even had conversations. And here's the truth. Many people go to these grin and grippers, AKA, I call them network. AKA must be my new saying this morning. I've said it 5 times already. So you go to networking events. I call them grin and grippers. You're grinning, you're gripping, you're shaking hands, and you're hoping someone's going to buy. And what I find at many of these networking is people want to, I please don't take this wrong. I'm a woman, so I can say this. Many, not all, so some of you out there are not, but many women want to spoon, braid hair, hang out and hope someone buys. I learned everything I know about business by playing basketball with men. Men you're a rare breed. You're odd ducks. That's what I'll say compared to us women. Here's what happens. And I've played sports all my life. I'm playing basketball with men. I can beat the living crap out of them, call them every name in the book. I mean, play the roughest games. And then after the game, they're like, aren't you coming to lunch with us? And I'm like, you don't hate me? Now, in contrast, I play hockey on the ice. I like saying that because Canadians are like, it's just hockey. So ice hockey, I played with women, and it's hockey. We are going to crash and hurt each other, and they would be mad. They would hate you for the rest of your life if you played too rough. So what I understood was that there was a great difference between not only the species, some of them, but each individual within their pack is very unique and different. Therefore, what I have done is I've done over 30 years of sales, training and actual profit centers. And I've grown my own businesses into 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. And here's what I learned very clearly is that anytime you're having a conversation, you yourself is speaking from your personality trait, your characteristics, what your values are, what you find to be of importance. And you come from that perspective. And what that ends up doing is it's a one-sided conversation, unfortunately, because the other individual is not you. And if you are going into a conversation, a sales conversation, and you're speaking your own language, it's like when we went down to Cancun. And I would go in and I'd order things and I'd be speaking my English and I'd go, now most of them speak English down there, or some, but I'm telling you, there were some that didn't. They look at you like, I have no idea what you want. I have no idea what you want. The only thing Denise taught me was how to get one more beer. Something cerveza, por favor. And I don't drink. So what good did that do me? Not good at all. Not good at all.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
I ended up, what I did was I realized if I'm running around speaking my language and the Cancunians, I don't know if that's a word, but the Cancun individuals are speaking their language, it's a complete disconnect. So what I realized is that we've got to understand who we're speaking to. So I know, don't anybody come after me, but I have ripped off every personality profile on the planet, everyone you can imagine, mashed them up into the science of Jane, and I created the core communication program. I like to call it core communication. Then we throw sales in there. Why? Because everybody, that's what they need. But truth be told, it's a communication program that happens to sell. So what we're going to do on Thursday, December 10th, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, and it's a full day. People, RJ, do you realize it's a full day and it's free?
Full day and it's free, baby.
Yeah, I don't, I think I was cerveza, por favor. What's uno? I don't know what Denise taught me. But anyhow, here's the truth, is it's free. I shouldn't have to say, people come. Okay, we're Zoomies. Like, oh my God, how many are tired of a Zoom call?
Oh,
yeah. I'm so done. But we're making it interactive. You're going to be hanging out. You're going to be breakout. You're going to be practicing this stuff. I'm not just going to be a talking head on Zoom and then I'm going to sell the crap out of you, because that is not my style and that's not what I teach. So the core system, we are going to teach you the core system. We're giving you scripts, how to ask the questions, what questions to ask. But first and foremost, who the heck are you in the sales conversation? The way I would sell to RJ is a very different way that I would sell to you. And I can show you in a matter of seconds. That's my promise. I'm going to stamp the guarantee. If I don't show you in seconds how to identify someone, you get your money back. Shh. They get it back anyway. Shh, don't say anything. But the truth is, and I'm being serious, here's the absolute serious. If I went and sold everybody from my core communication style, people would be sitting back in the dust. I move fast. Everything's yesterday or the day before. I'm not one who this is awesome. Listen to this, RJ. So we're on the call. Dr. Teresa, brilliant woman. She is a foreclosure attorney, a real estate investor, a business coach, and many, many more things. Brilliant woman. And then she has her friend Jasmine. Jazz does we're looking at real estate notes, etc. And Jazz came from Wall Street, right? They're moving fast and furious, and they're from New York originally. So here we've got two New Yorkers that are moving fast and furious. We've got a Chicagoan that is moving fast and furious, and then we have Denise. And Denise is a marinator. Denise is a calculated step by step. I want to digest and understand. And we are we are rapid fire. I'm looking on this Zoom call and I see poor Denise is like this. I mean, like, oh, the poor thing. And then I said, Denise, do you have any questions? And she's like, no.
No.
Poor thing. But if we all, and let's pretend that Denise was the one who was investing, that poor thing would have never in her lifetime bought. Never. So the way we communicate is vital. The way we communicate. I'll give you an example. RJ, whenever RJ and I have a conversation and we're moving into action, she'll do two things. One, she wants all the details, but more importantly, well, there's three things. More importantly, she loves to question. Like, she wants to question to prove that point over and over again. And there were times where I have to just go, okay, I'm not listening. And I keep getting this. It's the same question. But there's a style of communication that we must have with RJ and the Denises and the Dr. Teresas and the Jasmines and the Janes. If you do not understand the conversation of who you're speaking to, you are going to work hard, way too hard in your sales conversation. So, RJ, do you want me to tell them what the different codes are?
Yes, because well, I mean, to me this is fascinating. I could listen to this all day. And
Yeah, but nobody's going to.
Yeah.
Not after 24 minutes.
24 minutes.
Going fast and furious. Why? Because that's who I am. So
That's
CORE. CORE actually stands for our communication system. C is catalyst. This is poster child for catalyst. Everything happens yesterday or the day before. Optimizer. Optimizers love steps, strategies, formulas, everything that makes sense. They want all the details on the planet, and they want a discount. They want to fit that into their budget. The relator, for the R, the relator, that's our RJ. She gives and gives and gives and hugs, and it is exactly. There is not a good cause a relator does not fall in love with. They love community. They love connection. They want high tide raises all boats. Experts, RJ, experts. They are what we affectionately call the know-it-alls. These are individuals that have a lot of information in either one area or many. They have degrees. They're the ones you hear a lot. I hang out with a lot of experts. It's interesting because some of them will drive me crazy. No offense, everybody. But what you hear a lot is, no, that's not how it is. And you're like, well, I've done it 208,000 times. No, that isn't. So they know a lot about a lot, and there's unique ways that you have a conversation that ends up having someone buy. That's what sales is. But there is a technique to having conversations that are authentic. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be remember they used to call it the chameleon of sales. You're not the chameleon of sales. You're an empathetic, objective listener that wants to help and support an individual on the other end of that conversation. If they end up investing in themselves, by the time that conversation's over, that could be a call to sales conversation that converts. I use those terms because we're used to those. We think that's what we need. What I am fully supporting within this system is a conversation that authentically moves each individual into action, whether it's buy with you or someone else or not at all. But I will help you overcome objections, enter into conversations, move people into a yes or a no, and I will demonstrate everything to you, and you, by the end of the day, you'll be closing sales. That truly is. I don't guarantee it, but you do what I tell you to do, you're going to make money. Look at RJ. RJ went from making $1.50 to 1.5. Like, I'm just going to say a lot of zeros, and not without a few numbers in front of it.
Well, it's true. And like the most fascinating thing is that when people give you a no, when people authentically reach their no, that is also valuable. And it's not people aren't going to give me money now. This person isn't going to give me money now. You know what? That's okay, because they're probably not your person, or it just ain't time. Like when I first met Jane, I immediately wanted to hire her, and I had, nothing going on in the bank account. So I didn't immediately. I waited 6 months. And I lost thousands of dollars doing that. That's another story for another day. But it wasn't the right time for me. And finally, when it was the right time, I was able to do that. But if we had tried to do something, right away, that would have been wrong for me. The bad experience, I sometimes have tough experience with clients. I mean, we all do. But it's almost always because they either rushed in or I rushed in. We both didn't take the time to find an authentic yes or a no. Do you find that to be true for you too, Miss Jane?
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this, and I want to invent a fear-a-later. or an excitement elator. Do you know what those are, right? You have the breathalyzer that says, nope, you registered too high on the Richter scale. You are toast. You cannot drive. So I want to create a fear elator or an excitement elator. And what that means is when you're in an event or even on a conversation, you give them that test. If they blow too high in the register of fear, that's not a good buyer. If they're off the charts with excitement, that's not a good buyer. And most people think, I got to get them on a scale of 1 to 10. How high is your buying excitement? And people would be like, I'm a 15 and I run from that. I'm like, okay, help me understand when you say you're a 15, what does that look like? You don't want somebody too excited. You also don't want somebody like, a 2, I'm a 2. I'm not working with a 2. You're going to end up dragging them through anything you're doing. They're going to return the product, the service, whatever it is you're going to have. That is your PETA clients. You don't want those. But what's interesting is many people buy in fear because they are addicted to thinking there's a silver bullet. Now, people will come to me after a number of programs and they're like, well, they didn't work for me. And I am a firm believer, a one size fits all program. You can't cram. They're not sheep. They're not like, you're like, go into the, that is not, we are humans that have a different manner by which we operate. You tried, everybody tells me, no, Jane, everybody's doing this. Got to go right. You got to go right. Right is the way to go. I am just going left because people told me to go right. If they tell me, no, you got to go up, I'm going down. That's who I am. That's who you are. So when people come to me, I make sure they understand it's a customized program. It's custom to meet your core communication style. That's sales. And I think it's important. RJ, you said something, and I'm a firm believer, you cannot need your clients or prospects more than they need you. Yeah. It's worthy of saying that again. You cannot need a client more than they need you. If that's the case, they are serving you, you are not serving them. And my other favorite one, you'll never overcome an objection you agree with. You'll never overcome an objection you agree with. You just can't. And we're going to talk about that on December 10th, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Get registered, yourcoresales.com. That's my commercial.
Yourcoresales.com. I also have a link up in the description if you want to hit that one as well. It is all available to you. I bring folks like this because I bring people to the show that I get a lot from and that I think that my audience is going to get a lot from. And I know that a lot of people struggle with this very topic. How do you talk to someone? And how do you talk to someone in a way that is non-douchey and non-salesy and non-crappy? Because most of the time, when somebody's giving you a hard sell, you know what, Jane? This maybe just happened to me in the last 3 weeks, but somebody was giving me a hard sell over a text, and I was like, boom, I've lost respect for you. I can't deal with you. Like, I can't do it at all. You've just given me the pressure, you've just given me that crap that I can't deal with it. I can't stand it. Yeah. There's and forever in my entrepreneurial life, I was searching for a better way. And what Jane said is when she first knew me, she would say, well, how do you ask for the sale? And I'd go, well, I really don't. They'll ask me if they want to. And she's like, okay, that's why your income is the way it is. And I'm like, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know any way to help people to a sale without feeling like I'm doing all of those stupid tactics that we all hate. We all hate the freaking countdown clock, don't we? We all hate, the stuff that's pushing us into a sale. I would rather choose my own adventure on my way to a sale. I would. I don't want to be pushed. I'm an adult. Well, mostly. I can make my own financial decisions. Well, mostly. Anyway.
You have to run them all by me. That's part of my requirement with RJ. But it's so important. Like I remember being, because as a professional speaker, I have been on stages, and when I go to make the sale or make the offer, and I'll say, how many people are in this room? And they'll be like, 156. And I'd say, okay, for the first 159 people to sign up. And I would just be like sort of mocking the creepy limiters. And I know you have to have them. But I'm sorry, I get that you have to have them, but do you? I mean, I'm sure, but for me, I can't live with that style. So for me, it doesn't work. But I know people who use limiters. It triggers FOMO. Oh my God, I don't want to be left out. I've got to do this. And I'm not that style. So I'll go with a couple hundred extra, less $1,000. I mean, we're at events. We don't have a limiter. We don't have an incentive for the first X, you get this. I will occasionally do that because I want to truly motivate the audience. If I see they're a bunch of slugs, I'll motivate that audience. If I see that audience is ready to like bum rush the back of the room or bum rush the stage, I don't need a limiter. I just need the best me that I could possibly offer. And I have done that before where I'll make that. And we've done events. We've closed $760,000, $840,000. And I had no limiters. I had no, oh my God, you better do this now. It was authentically, here's where I'm going to start to tell you what I would love for you to invest in. Invest in yourself. This is what it looks like. And then I go through the offer. But I'm telling you, I am not one to, like I said, I want that fearalizer. If you got too much fear, don't buy. If you got way too much excitement, oh my God, this is it. This is the magic bullet. Don't buy. I have waited, RJ, 6 months. I've waited for people. I think the longest might be 2 years. People hang out. It's okay with me. I offer most everything for free. Get in it. If you love me, then we'll work together. If you don't, it's okay. Keep hanging out. Unless you do me wrong, you're still going to be included. If you do anything that is offensive, you're gone. But I'm telling you, I have trained in every form of sales you can imagine. I was in a spiritual program that taught me the 7-step perpetrator sales system. I thought, what an oxymoron. I'm supposed to embrace prosperity and the flow of the universe and the flow of life. And I am trained to do a 7-step perpetrator system. Nobody likes that. It's like knock them down, get the wound open, put salt on the wound, and then ask for their credit card. Sorry, that's creepy. It's like going into go buy a car. We all know, we all go in ready to buy a car. We've got our garlic necklace on. We've got our wooden stake. We are ready. I'll tell you, this may lose some of our listeners. I love dealing with car dealers. It's just what I do because I understand the system and I love playing the game with them. And people go in there like they get offended. I go, no, just hang in there. And I tell them, okay, so part 2 of this game, now we're going to come back with a message from our sponsors, AKA the sales manager. So let's do it this way. And I'm telling you, I love it because I can cut to the chase and they end up getting like sales training and then they take me right into the lead salesperson. That's what you got to do. So there's a number of different ways that you can sell. And what I believe, sales is a conversation that someone ends up handing a credit card over. That's it. And they are willing. I go through sales conversations and people say to me, they're like, thank you so much for guiding me into my decision. Yeah. I have people thanking me when they are paying a chunk of money to invest in themselves. That's what you want. You want people hugging you because you just received a ton of money from them, because they know they can count on you to pull it off, to get them where they need to go.
It's true. And trust me, folks, I have seen this happen so many times, and it's happened to me as well. When I'm at a Jane event, which we're going to have those soon. There's a vaccine on the way, baby. But I have seen this sales method work. People bum rush her table when she gets off the stage, and it's non-salesy, non-douchey, non-pushy, and for me, I've absolutely used this as well. And believe me, whether it's a yes or a no, you are still helping people guide them to their truth. This is what attracts me. This is what helps me understand, this is what helps me feel great about it. I feel great about sales conversations today. I am not nervous at all, because I know that with CORE, I'm able to translate what I want to say into somebody else's language so that they can find their truth, tell me yes or no, and we're both better for it. Always. Gosh, I can't say enough about this. We're going to be here for hours. Do you have the comfortable shoes on?
Comfort seat. But I'll tell you, do you remember, you may not, but I've done a ton of sales training. And do you remember where they'd say, mirror what your prospect is doing? So the prospect would go like this, and then you'd go. Yeah. And then the prospect would do this. And then you're taught to mirror them. Yeah. That's fake. Like, that's just a fake connection. I have found myself in the middle of conversations, and people are doing this, and I'm naturally doing this, and then they're doing this, and I'm naturally doing that. And I'm like, what? I'm mirroring everything you're doing. And that is not a sales tactic. I promise you. Like, I almost confess, I'm like, it's just happening. We are connected. But it's funny, but they teach you these tactics that are just not real, and they're not authentic. And this training is not about how to morph into someone else. Back in the day, so I was a counselor for many years, and there's a communication that, when you are doing therapy, right? What that conversation looks like. Somebody says something like, my favorite color is yellow. And then your communication back to them is, what I hear you saying is your communication, or your favorite color is yellow. And they're like, yes, so you heard me. So that's a tip for couples, anybody having children, anybody who has another human in life with them. This is a technique. Repeat authentically, empathetically what you hear them saying. So what I hear you saying, your favorite color is yellow. And they say, yes, do you understand that? And you say, yeah, if I were you, I could understand my favorite color is yellow, because mine happens to be orange. So I can't really get on board with yellow, but if I were you, I could. That is sales. Someone is saying, you know what? I cannot get leads, and I cannot overcome objections because I am scared to death. What you're going to be saying is, what I understand is that you are having these problems. Reflect back genuinely what their issue is. That seems like it's obvious, but I'm going to tell you, I have listened to hundreds of recorded sales conversations. And what ends up happening, people aren't thinking, oh, what I hear you saying is you're having trouble closing sales. They're thinking, excellent. They're good for my program. If they're good for my program, let's see the next line. Hold on.
Yeah.
The next line. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to be in my program? No scripts. This is a no. You're going to learn. You're going to get some scripts, but you're going to memorize those babies, because you are not going to be mechanical in your conversation. And I could give it all away today, RJ, but my God, people aren't listening after 2 minutes, and we're at 40. Son of a gun.
I know. Okay, people, here's the important points of what we just said. First of all, important point. If you want to learn more about this, go to the link in the description. Sign up for this bad boy. It is a $97 refundable seat deposit, which means she'll hold on to the $97 for 4 days, and when you show up, you get it back. It is a thing that folks do to make sure that people actually show up, because it's easy to sign up for an online event and not show up. So,
Absolutely.
Second, this is very important. Hey, unless you are making sales out the wazoo, unless you're making millions of dollars a year, you probably could stand to make more. This is something you can do. This is a way to do things that is not salesy, douchey. This is a way that is authentic and actually helps people clarify what they want. And so take advantage of this. We're going to have to wrap it up because Jane probably has something to do. But we probably all have something that we should be doing right now. But before we go, Jane, what's the most important thing that you have to say to the people right now?
And I think the most important thing is you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you haven't implemented. You don't know if that's going to work yet or not. And if I've seen sales trainers, I use that term loosely, and coaches that say they hear you're afraid to do sales, and what do they tell you to do? Go out and make 50 sales calls. All that does is make you 50 times as bad as you were to begin with, because you're not doing anything different. Like, you're literally not doing anything different. You're getting worse and worse. You're getting more discouraged. You're getting more frustrated. You're needing the buyer more than they need you. It's a vicious cycle. The best thing you can do is, I'm a firm believer, if you've been doing it a while, let's investigate if you could do it better. If you haven't been doing it a while, selling for a while, let's do it right the first time. Because I'm going to tell you, a sales conversation should never create stress. It should create victory, meaning yes or no, doesn't matter. It's authentic, no lukewarm, no maybe. Get to the bottom of what their objections, aka excuses are. Get to the bottom of that. Oh my God, this should be a drinking game, aka every time I've said this and you're watching it and it's after 5 o'clock, please drink. You'll all be loaded. I don't know where that came from today. I'm going to stop saying it for the rest of my life. So,
no, you're not.
I want you to understand that you must do it right the first time, or let's get better at it, because people need you. People need you. And what you have to offer could just be the answer that will change their life. But if you don't push through the resistance to help them reflect on it, you have been a disservice to them. So if you're not having the right conversations with the right people, with the right results, you have got to be frustrated. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, and there's no need to be. There's no need to be. Take it from Jane, who has made millions of dollars, and take it from RJ, who has not made millions of dollars yet, but is making a whole lot more dollars because I have taken this instruction. Listen to us. Go grab a registration. I'll be there all day, baby. So you know it's going to be a good time. And that's all we have for today. Thank you for coming on, Jane. We love you tremendously. I love you tremendously.
Yeah, they all may hate me.
They may. I don't know. I haven't taken a poll, but
I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. I am okay with that. My self-image has far improved from many, many, many years ago. Why? Therapy.
There you go.
Say what you will. It will hurt my feelings, though. I'm very sensitive. I'm a sensitive individual because I'm actually all of our core. I'm all that wrapped up into one. I'm
and a bag of chips.
And a bag of chips. All right,
Yeah.
December 10th, please. I hope to see you all there. Every one of you. I got to cut RJ off. Otherwise, we're going all day.
Okay. Bye, y'all. Love you.